we want for this to be an interactive session. So we want for you to participate in this study group session. And because you will, you will only get as much out of this as you put into it. And of course, we want all of you to get the most out of this so that you can potentially pass the exam that you're preparing for. And you really have to do your homework. You have to put enough preparation and be able to at least answer these questions to give yourself the best chance at passing. So anyway, here we go. You can do so. You can participate by talking. You guys should be able to go on mute, or you can type your answers or comments in the chat. So here's our question number 1, solution evaluation. Let's get right into it. What output has a business analyst developed when they can provide a description of the current limitations of the enterprise, including how the solution performance is impacting the enterprise? A, risk analysis results. B, solution limitation. C, enterprise limitation. D, item tracking.
So let's talk about this question real quick. This is asking for the output of a specific task, and the task is the assess enterprise limitations. So you see the word output there, it's a key. And then whenever you see, you can identify which task it is. So what is the one output of assess enterprise limitations? I'm sorry, assess solution limitations.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, wait, am I wrong? Is it enterprise limitations or solution limitations, guys?
The key is your voice is cracking. My voice? Is my voice cracking to you, Thea?
I'm not hearing any problems.
Okay. I'm hearing you perfectly, Thea. So we're hearing each other properly. Maybe something to do with your output, your audio output, Moses. Okay. To me, this sounds like it's enterprise. Just
Okay.
because it says description of the current limitations of an enterprise.
Okay.
All right. What about the audience? What do you guys think? I'm just making sure everyone is able to chat. Okay. Solution limitation. Moses thinks the answer is solution limitation.
I vote
Is
for C.
You vote for C? Okay. I also vote for C just because it says limitations of the enterprise, Moses. So we will go with that and we will check. So that is correct. And if we had gone with B, then this would have been incorrect. So they're both in the same chapter. They're both tasks, assess solution limitations and assess enterprise limitations. But C is correct because of this wording right here. All right, let's go to the next one. Chris, a CIO in the banking industry, implemented the business relationship manager role to improve customers' loyalty scores. Best practice frameworks cited the BRM role is a surefire way to ensure customer satisfaction. Chris implemented the role by the book by sending 6 new BRMs through a 4-week training course and requiring them to pass rigorous exam to obtain BRM certification. The scores are in and customer satisfaction scores are essentially the same as they were prior to the BRM rule. So you have 2 questions based on this case study, the scenario. So number one is, what might your initial take be on the situation? A, not enough due diligence was given to the upfront analysis to determine if the BRM rule was the right solution. B, the solution might be high performing but contributes lower value than expected. C, the solution is low performing but could potentially be valuable. D, the BRM rule isn't delivering value, so the organization should write off the sunk cost and explore other customer satisfaction enhancement options. Okay. So what do you guys think?
We need votes, guys. We've got an A.
Okay, Michelle says A. Thank you, Michelle. Anyone else? Not enough due diligence was given to the upfront analysis to determine if the BRM rule was the right solution. So we typically want at least 2 people to participate. Or Michelle, if you could kindly explain your answer.
Just a bit confused with the scenario, but I just actually guessed. Sorry.
Just a wild guess. Okay. You know what? We'll go with your wild guess. But thank you for speaking up. Appreciate that. We'll reward that. But that is incorrect. This might be true, but the scenario doesn't provide enough information to support this answer. So the correct answer is actually B. The solution might be high performing, but contributes lower value than expected. I was actually myself, I was torn between B and C. So the BRMs have all gained certifications to presumably are high performing. Okay, so that's the difference. But all customer satisfaction scores have stayed essentially the same. Okay.
Let's see what the second question is.
Yes. Okay. So same scenario. If Chris will not authorize Peyton, a business analyst who was tasked to assess BRM performance measures and recommend a course of action to move ahead with a suggested assessment activities, how should she treat the lack of BRM performance measures? A, as an enterprise problem, B, as a solution problem, C, as an enterprise risk, D, as a solution risk. So we already got clued in from the previous answer, which unfortunately you won't get clued in the actual exam. You'd be going to question number 2, not sure if your number 1 was correct.
So with the lack of BRM performance measures, what do we have? Is it a risk or a problem? And is it for the enterprise or for the solution?
Moses says it's a risk and it's an enterprise risk. Thank you, Moses. Let's move forward with that answer. That is incorrect. It has to do more with the solution. It's a solution risk. If the measures are not sufficient to help stakeholders determine solution value, business analysts either must collect more measurements or treat the lack of measures as a solution risk.
One of the key things to remember is we're talking about solution performance and limitations in this chapter. The BABOK is really focused on solutions.
That's right. Okay. And Moses said, sorry, D. I didn't see that in time. Okay.
Yep, Moses was right.
All right. Good job. Number 4, who are the stakeholders that contribute to measuring solution performance? A, supervisor, director, and user domain subject matter expert, customer, sponsor, developer. B, UI expert, developer, regulator, documentation subject matter expert, supervisor, tester. C, customer, domain subject matter expert, project manager, sponsor, regulator. Some of these are just not in the BABOK, right? D, domain subject matter expert, documentation subject matter expert, regulator, sponsor, user experience expert.
Okay, so we know that there's no such thing as a documentation subject matter expert, so it eliminates both B and D. And so what it's asking from you here is, what is the list of stakeholders for the task measure solution performance?
Okay, so Moses thinks it's A. Let's go ahead and check that. And Michelle said it's C. I should have waited for Michelle. So yeah, supervisor is another made up one. And this is the correct one.
But now we learned. If we're going to get them
Yes.
wrong, I'd rather get them wrong while we're doing the practice test
Okay.
so we can learn than later.
Yes, definitely. Okay. Phil is a BA on a project and is planning activities to evaluate the solution. The project is planned to have a total of 4 releases, approximately 4 to 6 months apart. Each release builds upon the functionality in the prior release. When should Phil plan the assessments? A, when there is indication that the solution isn't delivering expected value once deployed. B, when it would add value but minimally after each release. C, it depends, whenever warranted or Phil believes evaluation would lend value. D, during each proof of concept before delivery and after deployment. Moses has D. Anyone else? Thank you, Moses.
Let's just D.
All right. And that is incorrect. So there's no evidence of a proof of concept for Phil's project, so that's not mentioned in the question. This would be the most correct answer if it was a general versus scenario specific question. So B is more correct. Evaluations may be needed prior to deployment, especially from an enterprise perspective.
I didn't see the B. Oh,
Okay, that's fine. Thanks, Rosas. So number 6, what term describes the money and effort already committed to an initiative? A, net present value. B, sunk cost. C, additional cost. D, opportunity cost. Already committed.
This is a term that the Babok loves.
All right, thank you, Michelle. Sunk cost. There you go.
Good job.
All right, that's our first correct. If the performance measures defined to evaluate effectiveness of a solution are not sufficient to help stakeholders determine solution value, what actions would a business analyst take to adjust the situation? A, revisit the business objectives. B, collect more measurements or treat the lack of measures as a solution risk. C, conduct change control and create high-level estimates. D, consider the time period used. We kind of went across this in a previous question, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Michelle's previous answer. So Michelle was paying attention.
Ah,
Good job.
B. Very good.
All right. That's 2 in a row. DEMA is a BA assigned to the evaluation of a solution that isn't delivering value to the level forecasted during the project. She has gone into project archives and is reviewing all available project documentation. Why is she doing that? A, she's working to understand the potential value of the solution. B, she is primarily concerned with the solution requirements to ensure current performance measures are relevant. C, she is reviewing the project objectives to better understand what the solution was supposed to achieve. D, she is trying to familiarize herself with the stakeholders impacted by the solution. Okay, thank you, Moses. Moses says B. She is primarily concerned with the solution requirements to ensure current performance measures are relevant. Okay, so let's try that out. And that is incorrect. So this is one aspect of understanding potential value, but the scope is too narrow. So letter A is more encompassing. Potential value is listed as an input to analyze performance measures, which is what the question is asking. The forecasted level is a benchmark against which solution performance can be evaluated. Okay, hope that makes sense. Moses, next question. When would the techniques of process modeling, observation, workshops, document analysis, and organization modeling have the most value when assessing enterprise-related obstacles to realizing solution value? A, stakeholder impact analysis. B, enterprise culture assessment. C, assess enterprise limitations. D, assess solution limitations.
So it's basically asking us which task we're in, right?
Did anyone answer? Did notice? Oh, there you go. B,
yeah.
enterprise culture assessment. Okay, let's try that out if there's no one else. And that is incorrect. So the correct one is stakeholder impact analysis. All of these techniques will give insight to which stakeholder groups are impacted by a solution and in what way. Okay, so this is kind of a tricky one. Because it's trying to throw you a curveball with the wording. But you have to remember what the techniques are for. What factor can be assessed through key performance indicators aligned with enterprise measures, goals, and objectives for a project, process, performance targets, or test for a software application? A, context, B, solution implementation, C, solution acceptance, D, performance. So who remembers your KPIs technique? Oh, we have a late joiner. Welcome. So we are on question number 10. I just allowed you to talk. And you should be able to chat as well.
What does KPIs measure, guys?
Anyone? Well, it's right there in the acronym. It measures performance. So I think we go with D. All right, we got one. All right, so next, normally I'd wait for you guys, but we also don't want to run out of time. So anyway, next, how should solution options that offer potential capabilities above and beyond those identified in the original business case be handled? A, documented and stored in a way that is easily accessed for similar initiatives. B, identified even when not deemed immediately useful if the organization anticipates using them in the future. C, ignored. These were not part of the original business case and are not relevant to the proposed solution. D, ignored. The term for these capabilities is gold plating. Extra features. How do you treat the extra features?
We've got B.
Okay. A couple of B's actually. Thank you. Akinsola and Michelle.
We've got an A and a B. So
Oh.
B is correct.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right. Val is a BA who has been asked to evaluate a software solution which supports vital business functions. When the software doesn't perform, employees can't perform. Val discovers after analyzing 3 months worth of recent data that the software's transacting ability deteriorates noticeably around lunchtime and significantly every Thursday about 4 p.m. What has Val discovered? A theme, B, a trend, C, a variance, D, a pattern. Moses says letter D, a pattern. So let's try that out. That is incorrect. So that's not the term that the Babok uses. So the Babok doesn't use the word pattern when you're analyzing the solution performance data. It uses the word trend, and that's the reference. So a little bit of a trick question. But you have to remember that the language, the wording that the Babok uses exactly in order to pass the exam. Okay. Number 13, Finn is a BA working on a newly implemented logistics process for a package supply company. He began gathering performance metrics on such things as how long the process took versus how long to get output from one area to get to another. Defects in the output, duplicate steps, number of complaints, etc. The department supervisor complained to Finn that gathering these statistics was a waste of time. She said she would rather he spend his time gathering requirements for automation to support the process. What rationale does Finn offer for his activities? A, he needs to keep an eye out for defects so he can adjust them in a timely way to ensure customer satisfaction. B, he is working to understand and validate the value that was delivered by the implemented solution. C, the gathered measurements will support the automation project. D, the information is needed as input into a SWOT analysis for the new automation project. Okay.
We've got a B.
All right. Thank you, Michelle. Let's go with that. He's working to understand and validate the value that was delivered by the implemented solution. That is correct. I don't think Michelle and Akinsola also got the correct answer. Good job, Michelle and Akinsola. All right. Number 14, in order to obtain ISO certification, an organization created a problem management team. The team doesn't appear to be fitting in. Which of the following would be helpful regarding the assessment of the solution? A, enterprise culture assessment, organizational structure changes, operational assessment. B, enterprise culture assessment, stakeholder impact analysis, organizational structure changes, operational assessment. Excuse me. C, organizational structure changes, stakeholder impact analysis, and operational assessment. D, organizational structure changes and stakeholder impact analysis. Michelle says B. Let's go with that. And good job, Michelle. So these are all elements within the assess enterprise limitations task. So this was a memorization question. obviously. Okay, so K is a BA measuring the performance of a solution. Complaints about the solution have been increasing from end users. She went into the project archives to obtain how the original stakeholders defined acceptable performance. Those criteria didn't seem to be the cause of the complaints. However, among other things, stakeholders weren't happy with the overall maintainability of the solution. What else could assist Kay in her analysis? A, stakeholder requirements. B, functional requirements. C, understanding how the original project objectives map to the business objectives at the time. Perhaps the business changed and the solution is no longer viable. D, understanding how the original stakeholders defined the expected characteristics of the solution. You think like background music would be good? Yeah, something.
I'm almost thinking we need Jeopardy music.
Then.
Yeah. Getting the wrong answer shows us what we need to learn. It's better to get the wrong answer than no answer at all.
All right, thank you, Michelle. So let's go and see. That is incorrect. So this is a fabricated answer and no evidence of that in the scenario. So the right answer is D, understanding how the original stakeholders defined the expected characteristics of the solution. This is the definition for the non-functional requirements analysis technique. Okay. Thank you, Donna. A new system that was implemented recently is not performing as well as it did when it was first deployed. The system is currently performing at a level deemed unacceptable. To assess the solution, what might you do? A, perform a SWOT analysis to understand organizational factors contributing to the solution's failure to deliver value. B, perform a problem analysis to get the reason for declining value. C, identify business analysis performance issues that might contribute to the declining value. D, validate the requirements to ensure they deliver business value and support the organization's goals and objectives. Okay, and so it says C. Thank you. That is incorrect. So the right one is B. The business analyst should perform a problem analysis to understand why the outputs from the solution are below an acceptable level. Okay, so why is C wrong? The focus of this scenario is to determine why the system is not performing as well as it did when it was first deployed, not improving business analysis performance. So when trying to understand why you have that performance in the first place, problem analysis is the technique. Okay. Which stakeholders are identified for assessing enterprise limitations of an existing solution? A, customer, sponsor, implementation subject matter expert, business architect. B, end user, project manager, regulator, customer. C, customer, sponsor, domain SME, regulator. D, regulator, sponsor, project matter, domain SME.
So for the list for this task, we know project manager is not included. So we can eliminate B and D.
And we know business architect is a made up one. So I think that leaves us with C. Let's go for C. Okay. Thank you, Moses and Michelle. So Moses is wrong because of the project manager. It's not involved in this task. All right. When analyzing performance data, business analysts consider the time period when the data was collected to guard against what? A, solution scope changes, B, an incorrect benchmark, C, anomalies and skewed trends, D, performance variances. So why do you look at the time period? Oh, we have a new joiner. Welcome.
Yes, we
So
do.
yeah, so you should be allowed to talk now, or you can answer in the chat. So Moses
have
says C.
answers.
Two
We have B.
answers. Michelle says incorrect benchmark. Moses says C. We have a tiebreaker. Thank you. Let's go. That is correct.
Good job.
All right. Carl is a new BA who's anxious to align his activities to best practices and is trying to decide if the tasks in strategy analysis or solution evaluation knowledge areas should be used for his current assignment. They appear to be similar. He asks his BA coach how to discern which to use. Which of the following pieces of guidance is the most straightforward? A, well, that depends. Is your focus on a business problem or opportunity or on a solution that is either deployed, about to be deployed, or deployed despite? B, take a look at the tasks and then score your current assignment against those tasks. Use decision analysis. C, use whatever you believe will provide the most value to your current assignment. D, if an actual solution exists, solution evaluation is probably more pertinent. Okay. So which of the options best differentiates between strategy analysis and solution evaluation? Akinsola says A. Michelle says A. Okay, let's check A. Thank you. So that is incorrect. This is a close second, but isn't the most straightforward. I actually would have said A myself, to be honest.
Let me grab that one to send back to Watermark to say, guys, you need to make this one better.
Okay. Thank you.
Got it.
All right. Thank you. All right. Which inputs would be leveraged by the business analyst to support measuring solution performance? A, current state description. B, implemented solution, internal business objectives. C, implemented solution, external and business objectives. D, budget and timeline.
think we can eliminate D.
Yeah, don't see that as an input to any of the tasks. Okay,
We've got an answer of B.
thank you. Anyone else? All right, let's try to go with B. And that is incorrect.
Several other study groups have had the same challenge with this question. We got to really check in the first task to really understand it.
Okay. Thank you. So next, Jake is evaluating an existing solution. He determines that the existing metrics can be considered quality indicators and recommends modifications. He adds in his report that he does, however, consider them valid. What could lead Jake to his conclusion? A, the environment has changed and so the existing indicators aren't reliable. B, stakeholder expectations have changed and so the existing indicators aren't reliable. C, existing indicators can't be considered reliable because they aren't collected frequently enough. D, there seemingly aren't key performance indicators which every solution is required to have. So they're not quality, but they're valid.
No answers yet. We've got one answer of B, two answers of B.
Okay, thank you. So that's wrong. So the correct answer is C, existing indicators can be considered reliable because they aren't collected frequently enough. Okay, while valid quality metrics must also be reliable and timely. So it's not B. Stakeholders' expectations have changed and so the existing indicators aren't reliable. It's not B because it says here that he considers them valid, so that's what makes B incorrect. Okay. So what are the guidelines and tools that are used for the recommend actions to increase solution value task? A, current state description and solution scope. B, business objectives, change strategy, and risk analysis results. C, business objectives, current state description, and solution scope. D, decision analysis, organization modeling, and risk analysis management.
It's literally wanting the guidelines for that one task.
So Michelle says C. Anyone else? Thank you, Michelle. And let's go with C. So that is correct. Good job, Michelle.
Michelle, you're rocking today.
Yeah. And John got it as well. Good job. So which task of solution evaluation is responsible for identifying the root causes for underperforming and ineffective solutions and solution components? A, assess solution limitations. B, financial analysis. C, measure solution performance. D, assess enterprise limitation. So we're looking for a task, not a technique. And Akansola says C. So, okay.
Yep.
Let's try that one out. That is wrong. So the correct task is assess solution limitations.
So it's asking for which task has the definition of identifying root cause for underperforming and ineffective solutions and solution components.
Okay. Okay, so we have another scenario-based one for the next or the last two questions. The performance report for an in-house developed solution has shown for the past year, the application is outperforming its targets in every category. So finally, good performance. The defined KPIs set the performance bar pretty high. So number one, what's the likely cause for overperformance? A, the developer has exceeded the performance expectations defined in the requirements and acceptance criteria. B, the end users were trained really well in the new solution, so they maximize the solution's performance. Sometimes you get lucky. C, the vendor may have pushed updates, improving solution performance.
I don't think it's sometimes you just get lucky.
Yeah, although that would be nice, huh?
That would be nice.
Okay, so Michelle says it's A. Anyone else?
I agree with A.
Okay. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Saya. That is correct. Okay, so given the scenario, what is the best course of action for the BA? A, do nothing. B, present the assessment report to the appropriate leader and ask them for a decision to pursue further action or not. C, perform a cost-benefit analysis to ascertain the value of the overperformance. D, investigate the root cause of the overperformance.
We've got an answer of A. Do we have a second answer? I'm between C and D. I think I would go with C.
Same. That's what I said. All right, let's try that. We're both wrong. Okay.
Both are wrong. Cause, of course,
Okay.
the root cause before we do the cost benefit analysis. That makes perfect
Gotcha.
sense.
All right, so we made it to the end. This is not a very good score, although the good news is it's only a drill. Of course, you'll be able to review this. I will be sending you the results. So where do we go from here? I think we can still proceed as planned to our next schedules. We're gonna have another couple of sessions, October 9 and October 22. We're still working on what the content will be for that, but it looks like solution evaluation is making a strong case. So we'll have a couple of extra sessions added, and these will be more. It will be more going through Babok. We'll have a couple of our very own CBAPs go through the Babok with you, go through Babok techniques, knowledge areas rather, and relate to you how they use these knowledge areas in their respective professional lives. And at the same time, it's going to serve as like a review class and a way to appreciate the Babok content more and better prepare for the exam. So that's going to be October 9 and October 22. The exact schedule will be announced on our LinkedIn page. So with that in mind, I think we can proceed to underlying competencies, but do let me know your thoughts. I think solution evaluation is our lowest score so far, so it'll be one of the topics there. And then we're gonna have another one. I think it's requirements, life cycle management, and solution evaluation, just based on our scores here. But of course, feel free to reach out and say, what your preference is.
I want to remind everyone, you need to make at least a 70%, maybe go for 73 or 75% minimum in every single knowledge area. It's not like you can get 2 or 3 knowledge areas wonderful and then fail the rest of them. You won't pass. You've got to know the 6 knowledge areas very, very well. But it can be done. Thousands of people have done it. That means you can do it.
Okay. So yeah. We believe in you guys. Anyway, thank you so much for attending, and thank you, Thea, for all your help.
My pleasure.
And see you in the next one. Keep in touch.
Thank you. Goodbye.